Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a rematch battle from the 2016 format. On one side, we got the Greninja Break deck as used by Cody Walinski, the runner-up in the Masters Division of the 2016 World Championships, going up against the Darkrai and Giratina deck as used by Shuntu Sadahiro, the champion of the Junior Division of the 2016 World Championships. The Greninja Break deck is going to be focused on setting up multiple Greninja and Greninja Break throughout the game to use their Water Shuriken and Giant Water Shuriken abilities to spread damage on the opponent's field to take multiple knockouts. And the Darkrai deck is going to be focused on setting up as many Dark Energies as possible to power up Darkrai's Dark Pulse attack, as it deals 20 damage plus 20 more damage for every Dark Energy on the player's side of the field, while Garbodor can use his ability to shut down the opponent's abilities. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, as we're really close to hitting 3,000 subscribers on the channel, so if you enjoy the content, please make sure to leave a subscribe, it would really help us a lot. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Greninja side, we got Talonflame as the active Pokemon, thanks to the ability Gale Wings, and on the Darkrai side, we've got a Veltal as the active Pokemon. The Darkrai side is going first, benching a Darkrai EX and a Hoopa EX, and then activating the ability on Hoopa Scoundrel Ring, to then search the deck for up to 3 more EX Pokemon to add to the player's hand. And then once chosen are going to be another Darkrai and a Giratina, and it looks like that's going to be it. Just 2 Pokemon searched out, both of them coming down onto the bench. And there's the item card, Max Elixir. Now the player can look at the top 6 cards of their deck, and if they get a basic energy card, they can equip it onto one of their benched Pokemon. So there we see a Darkness Energy coming down to one of the Darkrai. The other 5 cards get shuffled back into the deck. And now this Darkrai just needs 1 more energy to be fully powered up. And there we see the first supporter of the game, N, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands and draw 6 cards apiece. 1 card for each of the remaining prizes. So this card is only going to get stronger as the game goes on, and both players start taking KOs. Okay, there we see the second Max Elixir coming down, once again looking at the top 6 cards of the deck, attaching an energy onto their basic benched Pokemon, and then shuffling the other 5 back into the deck, so the Darkrai on the bench is now fully powered up to start using its Dark Pulse. So as long as the player can get this Darkrai into the active spot, they can start dealing some damage on the following turn. There's a manual attachment. Darkness Energy to the active Yveltal, and turn passes. The player cannot attack in the first turn of the game, and now let's see what the Greninja player can do. They're going to be starting off by using a Battle Compressor to search the deck for the 3 cards to send directly to the discard pile, so it's going to be 2 Talonflame so far, and a Pokemon Ranger. Thinning out their deck by 3 cards, as Talonflame can no longer be used for the remainder of the game. Okay, now the next card is going to be a Dive Ball to search the deck for any Water-type Pokemon to add to the player's hand, and they're going to be choosing a Froakie to then place down onto the bench. It's going to be the main attacker once it evolves into Greninja. And there's the attachment for the turn, Water Energy onto the active Talonflame, and there's the attack. Arrow Blitz hitting for 40 damage, and also the player can search the deck for any 2 cards to add to their hand. And they also don't have to reveal what these cards are to their opponent, but more than likely it's going to be something to evolve Froakie on the following turn. Okay, now back over to the Darkrai side. Starting out by attaching Darkness Energy onto the benched Giratina, along with attaching a Floatstone to it to give it a free retreat cost. And there's the supporter for the turn, Professor Sycamore, to discard the player's hand and then draw 7 brand new cards. So the player's also going to be trying to set up a Trubbish and a Garbodor to shut off all the abilities on the opponent's side. Okay, but no more cards are played. There's the attack, Oblivion Wing, hitting Talonflame for 30 damage, and also getting back a discarded energy to attach onto one of their benched Pokemon. So it's going to be a Darkness Energy that was discarded by the Professor Sycamore onto the Giratina. And now on the Greninja side, the Froakie evolves into a Frogadier, which then gets a Splash Energy. Frogadier jumps into the active spot. And then no more cards are played. There's the attack, Water Duplicates. And now the player can search the deck for up to 3 more Frogadier to place directly onto the bench without having to evolve. And there we go, all 3 Frogadier come down, so they can start evolving into Greninja on the following turn. So quick turn, back over to the Darkrai side. A manual attachment comes to the active Yveltal, and then the player's going to be retreating it by discarding both energy cards, and then promoting their Darkrai now. So Dark Pulse can hit for 100 damage. 20 base damage plus 4 more Darkness Energies on their side of the field. And there's the Stadium card, Parallel City. This card has 2 different effects depending on how it's oriented, so with the blue side pointing toward the Darkrai player, It means that they can no longer have more than 3 benched Pokemon on their side, and the red side is pointing toward the Greninja side, so their water-type attacks deal 20 less damage. Okay, there was the attack, the Dark Pulse taking the KO against Frogadier and taking the first prize for the Darkrai player. Okay, on the other side, the Talonflame comes into the active spot. Another Froakie comes down, and there's the supporter N. Both players going to be shuffling their hands away. The Greninja player draws 6 cards, but the Darkrai player only is going to be drawing 5. Did they get any Greninja to start using? Not yet, but there we see a Dive Ball to search the deck for a Water-type Pokemon. And there we see the first Greninja coming down, evolving one of the Frogadier, which also got a Water-type energy earlier in the turn. And there's the attack from the Talonflame, another Arrow Blitz, hitting for 40 damage, and once again searching the deck for 2 more cards to add to the player's hand. So this might be some more Greninja to start evolving the next Frogadier on the following turn. Okay, back over to the Darkrai side now. There we see the double Dragon Energy coming down onto the Giratina, counts as a double Rainbow Energy. So 2 more Darkness Energies to power up Darkrai's attack. There's a VS Seeker, searching the discard pile for N, which is now activated, forcing both players to once again shuffle away their hands and draw a new hand each. So both of the cards that were just searched out by the Talonflame got shuffled back into the deck. Okay, no more cards are played. There's the attack. Once again, Dark Pulse, taking the KO against Talonflame, taking the second prize card for the Darkrai side. There are now 2 prizes in the lead. There we see the Greninja coming into the active spot, and now it evolves into Greninja Break. Another Froakie comes down to the bench, and there's the attack. Giant Water Shuriken, discarding a water energy from the player's hand, and then placing 6 damage counters on the opponent's Darkrai, which does not count as the attack. It's only the ability, so they can still deal some more damage. There we see another VS Seeker, this time from the Greninja side, to once again recycle N. Are they going to be activating it? Not yet. There's the replacement stadium card, Rough Seas. So now their Greninja can deal the maximum amount of damage, and there we see the N finally being activated. Greninja is going to be drawing 6 cards, and now Darkrai only draws 4. So let's see if the player has any more Greninja to evolve their Frogadier. And yes, they do. One of the Frogadier evolves. There's another Dive Ball being activated, once again searching the deck for a Water-type Pokemon for the 3rd Greninja now. So 3 Greninja in play already. There's the attachment coming down, a water energy onto one of the bench Greninja, and there's the attack. It's going to be the Moonlight Slash. So the player's going to be opting to return the water energy back into their hand. So Moonlight Slash hits for a total of 80 damage. So Darkrai has taken 180 damage so far. It would have been KO'd by now, but it does have that Fighting Fury belt, which gives it an extra 40 HP. Okay, on the other side, Darkness Energy gets equipped onto the benched Darkrai now. And now the second Darkrai also gets a Fighting Fury belt to give it 40 more HP. And then we see the Shaman EX coming down to the bench to activate the ability Setup. So the player can draw cards until they have 6 cards in their hand. There's the item card Super Rod, searching the discard pile for up to 3 basic energies or Pokemon to shuffle back into the deck. So it's going to be 3 Darkness Energies being shuffled back in now. Just adding some more energy into the deck to keep powering up the Dark Pulse attacks. And there's a VS Seeker, once again searching the discard pile for a supporter card, but it's going to be the Professor Sycamore this time. To discard the rest of the hand and draw 7 brand new cards. So let's see what else they got from this new hand of cards. Okay, the Trubbish finally comes down. So if they have the Garbodor to evolve on the following turn, they might be able to shut off all their Greninja's abilities. Okay, and there was the attack Dark Pulse, taking the KO against Greninja, taking the 3rd prize card. Darkrai is now 3 prizes in the lead. There we see another Greninja coming into the active spot. It now evolves into Greninja Break. And there's the ability Giant Water Shuriken, discarding water energy to play 6 damage counters on the opposing Darkrai, and it's finally KO'd. So Greninja takes their first 2 prizes now, and they still have not attacked yet. Okay, now the Giratina comes into the active spot. It has 170 HP, so it's going to take a couple attacks to knock it out. There we see a Level Ball being activated, searching the deck for another Frogadier to evolve one of their bench Froakie. Followed by another N. Once again, both players shuffle away their hands. And now Greninja's going to be drawing only 4 cards. while Darkrai draws just 3. So a lot of disruption going back and forth between both sides. Okay, there we see a Bursting Balloon equipped onto the active Greninja, followed by using their own Super Rod to search the discard pile for up to 3 cards. It's going to be a Water Energy, Greninja, and Greninja Break to be shuffled back into the deck now. Okay, there we see the deck has been shuffled. Okay, there's the attack. Moonlight Slash, once again, returning the water energy to the player's hand to deal the maximum 80 damage onto Giratina. It's only got 90 HP left. There we see the supporter for the turn, AZ, to pick up the Shaman back into the player's hand. A Fighting Fury Belt is equipped onto the Trubbish to thin out the player's hand. And there's Shaman coming back down, once again activating the ability Setup, so they can draw until they have 6 cards in their hand. Let's see if the player got the Garbodor. Okay, this might do it. There's the Ultra Ball, discarding Lysander and another Ultra Ball from the hand for any Pokemon from the deck. And yes, that is the Garbodor finally coming down to activate the ability Garbotoxin, and then shutting off all other abilities in play, so Greninja can no longer use the Giant Water Shuriken ability. There we see another Max Elixir, looking at the top 6 cards of the deck. And are they going to be getting another energy? Yes, another Darkness Energy comes down to the benched Darkrai now. Plus, they still have access to their manual attachment for the turn. So let's see if they still have another energy to attach. It looks like... Okay, the Giratina is going to be retreating to promote the Darkrai now. And currently there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Darkness Energy in play. And there's the attack, Dark Pulse, hitting for, I think it's 150 damage. The Bursting Balloon does activate because the Darkrai attacked into it, so it takes 60 damage recoil from the Bursting Balloon. Okay, now over to the other side. The next Frogadier evolves into another Greninja. A Water Energy comes up to the active Greninja Break, and there's the Rough Seas being activated, healing 30 damage off the active Greninja Break. There's the attack, Moonlight Slash, hitting for 80 damage. So that is 140 damage on the Darkrai so far. It still has 80 HP remaining. Okay, back over to the Darkrai side. They play no cards, going straight for the attack. Dark Pulse taking the KO against Greninja, taking the 4th prize card now. So 2 prizes remaining for the Darkrai player. Another Greninja comes into the active spot. No more cards are played. They go ahead attack with Moonlight Slash, hitting for 80 damage to take the KO against Darkrai, taking 2 more prizes. And now both sides are tied at 2 prizes remaining apiece. There we see Giratina coming back into the active spot now. It can only hit for 100 damage with the attack Chaos Wheel. There we see a Trainer's Mail being activated, looking at the top 4 cards of the deck, and then choosing to keep the Reverse Valley in the player's hand. The rest of the cards are going to be shuffled back into the player's deck now. And are they going to be activating the Stadium card? And yes, they are. The Reverse Valley comes down to get rid of the Rough Seas on their opponent's side. A Darkness Energy comes down to the benched Yveltal. And once again, the Giratina is going to be retreating, this time to promote the Yveltal. So in case the Yveltal gets KO'd, it's only going to be giving up 1 prize instead of 2 like Giratina would. And there's another N being activated. And now both players are going to be drawing only 2 cards apiece. So it's a huge disruption for both sides. Okay, there's the attack Oblivion Wing, hitting for 30 damage into the Greninja and also getting back a Darkness Energy and attaching it onto the benched Shaman. So let's see if the Greninja player has a Water Energy to attack this turn. Okay, they're going to be starting off by using a Super Rod, once again searching the discard pile for 3 cards. It's going to be Frogadier, Greninja, and Greninja Break to be shuffled back into the deck now. So that was one of the cards used. They still have 2 more. Do they have any Water Energies? Not yet. There we see the Bursting Balloon. Okay, but they did get the Versus Seeker to search the discard pile for another N once again. So both players shuffle their decks, draw 2 cards apiece. Did they get the Water Energy from this one? Otherwise, Greninja cannot attack this turn. And yes, they did. Water energy comes down to the active Greninja, attacks with Moonlight Slash, and then returning that energy back into the player's hand. So Yveltal takes 80 more damage. It only has 10 HP remaining. Okay, on the other side, there we see another Trainer's Mail being activated. Once again, looking at the top 4 cards of the deck, and to keep a Trainer card in their hand, it's going to be the Versus Seeker once again. So they might use this to reuse that N and shuffle away the Greninja player's water energy. Okay, but first, there we see another Max Elixir. I think it's going to be the last one of the game. Searching the top 6 cards for a Darkness Energy. Did they get one? Yes, they did. Darkness Energy is equipped to the bench Shaman now. So Shaman is actually fully powered up to start using its Sky Return attack. There we see a Floatstone equipped onto the Yveltal on the bench to promote the Shaman. Yeah, Shaman is going to be the attacker this turn. And this will be a way to get around the Bursting Balloon because Shaman will return itself to the player's hand. Yeah, there's the attack. Sky Return hitting for only 30 damage. It does pop the Bursting Balloon, but it doesn't do anything because Shaman just returns to the player's hand. And once again, they're going to be promoting the Yveltal. So they spared their Yveltal for one more turn. Okay, back over to the Greninja's side. They get the Water Energy. Go straight for the Moonlight Slash to take the KO against Yveltal, taking one more prize card. And now Greninja is in the lead. They just got to take one more KO to win this game. There we see the Giratina coming back into the active spot now. This should be an easy KO into the opposing Greninja. Yeah, no cards are played. There's the attack Chaos Wheel hitting for 100 damage. Taking another prize card. Both sides are tie. And one prize remaining apiece. There we see the next Greninja coming into the active spot now. And it evolves into Greninja Break. Although the player cannot use the ability, but they can attack. There's a Water Energy coming down to the active Greninja Break. Followed by Professor Sycamore to dump the rest of their hand and draw 7 brand new cards. So the Greninja player does have the advantage right now. They can deal some more damage into this Giratina, but Giratina cannot take the one-hit KO against Greninja. There we see a Level Ball being activated to search the deck for a Frogadier, involving the Froakie on the bench. And, okay, there's the attack, Miss Slash, hitting for 50 damage. Giratina is now down to just 40 HP remaining. Greninja can't take the KO in the following turn, but there we see a Versus Seeker, searching the discard pile for Lysander to bring up the Frogadier from the bench, and this is going to be the game. There's the final attack, Chaos Wheel, taking the KO against Frogadier to take the final prize card, and there's the handshake. Darkrai is your winner! So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is Holland Phantom logging out.